Good morning. Nick Ellis here on the 16th green to talk about some of the unique things that you're allowed to do on the putting green that you can't do elsewhere on the course. Did you know that 30 to 40% of all strokes taken during your round are taken on the putting green? That is an incredible amount. So when your ball is on the putting green, it's good to know that there are special and more favorable USGA rules that apply that can be very helpful in reducing those strokes. Okay, now first things first, let's find out, when is your ball actually on the putting green? According to Rule 13.1a, your ball is defined as being on the putting green when any part of the golf ball is on the putting surface. Even if much of your golf ball is off the green, it is still treated as being on the putting green. If your ball lies on a loose impediment or obstruction, such as a leaf, and isn't actually touching the putting surface, it's still defined as being on the green if part of the ball is inside the edge of the putting green. Now that we know when a ball is on the putting green, let's talk about Rule 13 and the actions it permits that you can't normally do elsewhere on the course. Once your ball is on the green, you are entitled to mark it, lift it, and clean it. This is very helpful if your ball picks up dirt or you want to line up your golf ball before you putt. You must mark your ball before lifting it, or you would receive a one-shot penalty stroke. You can use anything artificial to mark your ball, such as a tee peg, a coin, or another small piece of equipment. You can even use your putter head if you don't have anything else. Be careful though that you don't use a twig, leaf, or anything natural-like to mark your ball. Doing so would incur a one-stroke penalty. You can mark the ball in front, in back, or on the side, provided that you place the ball mark right next to the ball and you replace it on its original spot. Once you mark your ball on the green, you then own that spot. If, after replacing your ball on that spot, the ball moves by accident or through no fault of yours, you are entitled to replace it on that original spot. Here is an example of when a ball is already marked but moves on its own. If this ever happens to you, you simply pick the ball back up and bring it back to where your original mark is. However, and this is very, very important, if the ball rolls down a slope or moves on its own before it is marked, its next resting point becomes its new location. You must play it as it lies or mark it in its new spot, hopefully closer to the hole. Now, what if the ball rolls in the hole before being marked? Well, good for you. You just saved a stroke. What happens if your ball marker accidentally gets moved on the green? If the movement is accidental, there is no penalty and the ball marker must be replaced on the original spot. There is also no penalty if you accidentally cause your ball to move on the putting green. That's right. Under Rule 13.1d, if you move a ball on the green by accident, just replace the ball on its correct spot or your best estimate of its correct spot and continue playing. Well done. I am often asked, Nick, what improvements or repairs are allowed on the green that you can't make elsewhere? The putting green is one of the only places on the golf course you can make improvements or repair damage to the surface before you hit your golf shot. You can repair damage on the putting green, such as spike marks, pitch marks, indentations, and old hole plugs by using your hand, foot, or normal ball repair tool, tee, club, or any normal piece of equipment. So remember, you can repair damage with any normal piece of equipment. So for those of you that happen to carry a shovel on your cart, don't use that to repair the green, please. Remember, your ball doesn't have to be on the green for you to repair a pitch mark or a spike mark that's on the green. You can make improvements to the putting green, whether the ball is on or off the putting surface. Here's some conditions that you cannot repair though. Aeration holes, grooves from mowing, rain, weeds, uneven growth of the grass on the green. These are basically natural wear and tear imperfections. You cannot fix those. Here's an important thing to remember, especially when playing greens with greenside bunkers. You can remove loose soil and sand located on the green using your hands, a towel, or even your club head without any penalty. However, if the loose soil or sand are off the green, you may not remove this. You simply must putt over it or play around it. Even if the sand or soil is on the fringe next to the putting green, it must remain in place. While you cannot test the green by rolling a ball or scraping the surface, you may observe the line and behavior of previous putts or other players' strokes to gain insight into the conditions. The point of view we are standing at now is acceptable on the putting green. The flagstick can be removed, attended, or left in the hole while putting, depending on your own preference. This flexibility allows you to choose the option that best suits your strategy for the putt. Whether you decide to remove the pin, leave it in, or have it attended, that decision must be made prior to making the putt. For example, you can't make a putt with the pin in and then remove the pin while the putt is in motion. Okay, so riddle me this. When is a putt considered hold? If any part of the ball is in the hole below the surface of the putting green, the ball is treated as hold, even if the entire ball is not below the surface. Now, since this ball is in the hole, I think this is a good place for me to finish and conclude this entire video. In the game of golf, it all ends on the putting green. Knowing the rules here can save you strokes and maybe even win you an event. I hope you found this video helpful. Rule 13 in the USGA Rules of Golf will give you more details. If you have questions, please reach out to me or Mr. Cabral of the Golf Committee. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you around the club.